That's right, this used to be a thing. I wonder what happened to it. I also wonder what this means for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that Pokemon Go for Pokemon Sun and Moon has been scrapped by this point. I mean, we're less than 2 months until the game comes out, and there really doesn't seem to be any more talk about the interaction between Pokemon Go and Pokemon Sun and Moon. It's just kind of crazy to think about the features that have kind of been forgotten as we look to a new Pokemon game, and Pokemon Go just fails more and more, because there was an interview. Like, I'm not just making stuff up like, oh man, what about Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon Go? That's why this picture is kind of important. Like, that's the Pokemon Go image. It says, where Pokemon Go? This is data mine. This happened back in January when we had the Pokemon Bank update that actually updated compatibility for Pokemon Go into Pokemon Sun and Moon. That's pretty cool and pretty crazy to think about. I'm also wondering how they do it. Now I'm starting to think about probably like Trainer Club account linking. That's like, oh, your Trainer Club acknowledges you've done this, therefore you could kind of get it through a code or maybe Poke Transporter through some weird method. But overall, yeah, will there be any cross promotion between two games, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sun and Moon? Pokemon unlocking one because you played the other. Junichi Masuda with Pokemon Go. Yeah, we definitely want to have some kind of, at some point, connectivity in some way that the games can interact. So I've been talking about, and this seems like for the Pokemon Sun and Moon interview directly, and it seems like they actually had it planned. They were working on developing something, and remember, Pokemon Go goes way back, that we can kind of like go to the Pokemon Go official trailer, September 9th, 2015. Do you feel old yet? I just realized this, guys. This trailer is over 2 years old for Pokemon Go. Like, it's just those little things that kind of add up. Like, yo, where did the last 2 years go? Because I remember it felt like not too long ago where we had Pokemon in the real world, Mewtwo raid battle. See how long it takes for these features to come out? No wonder Niantic is 6 months behind and probably counting at this point. So yeah, this interview actually goes back to the 1 year anniversary. So that's July. 6 months behind where we thought they'd be, and they could be even more behind right now. Also, they're only like 10% complete of what Pokemon Go wants to be. This coming from the CEO of the Pokemon company, and then that just kind of ties back into this. So yeah, it seems like Pokemon Go being behind development. Remember, that's not just PvP, trading, legendary Pokemon, other generations, all these other features that Pokemon Go has been slacking on. But remember, there's probably connectivity issues between Pokemon Go and Pokemon Sun and Moon that have been delayed as well. And I mean, this is just a huge thing. Pokemon Go reached even way more people than the anime. It's released in more countries, has reached a much wider audience. We want people who've picked up Pokemon, learned about it through Pokemon Go, to go and play Pokemon Sun and Moon and main series games. Well, it seems like that dream is dead, because Niantic has just failed so miserably up until this point. And I think that also just kind of shows, like, yeah, this feature was kind of forgotten, but to pretty much 90% or maybe even more than that of the Pokemon audience, you know, I forgot about this. A lot of people forgot about this. Some people haven't even seen this because it didn't really go anywhere. It's like, alright, we got a Pokemon Go leak. We'll hear about it in a couple months and then it'll actually matter. But this is pretty crazy. So all of this was data mined. The game was hacked. They kind of played around with it, and then they got definitive proof that the icon is intended for Pokemon Go. You guys might have seen like this Eevee image going around or something, or at least this little icon where it's like, yeah, that's the Pokemon Go icon that's intended for Pokemon Sun and Moon. It's in our Pokemon Sun and Moon game right now, along with a lot of other features that don't seem like they're going to be getting implementation. So that's why we have to like look forward to Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon now, since that's the big game and we don't really know much else about it. So it looks like this feature has been delayed, and I really hope it hasn't been scrapped, because yeah, Pokemon Go interacting with Pokemon Sun and Moon, bringing players from all aspects of Pokemon into the games is one of the best ways of kind of keeping the community alive, keeping things healthy, and then just making Pokemon better for everyone. I remember when Pokemon Go came out, and everyone was just playing Pokemon, and at least talking Pokemon to some degree. So it looks like Niantic, they kind of failed with that, but now this is kind of getting a little bit of extra traction, since we do have a new Pokemon game coming up, and also there's a couple of other things happening with Gen 3. Pokemon Go's latest update, this is actually August 25th, so anyone that's been keeping up with Pokemon Go, they're probably aware of the data mining that's been going on, much like with Gen 2. Gen 2 was found via data mining. A lot of other features like legendary Pokemon and raids, these were discovered because it seems like with Niantic and Pokemon Go, they kind of just start putting in little bits of information with updates to kind of prepare for larger updates, such as Gen 3 raids and all the other things I've talked about. So it seems like a couple months ago, Gen 3 Pokemon are on the way, and this was found via data mining. It's not fake, it's not fraudulent, it's not like something that isn't going to happen. We've seen this with every other time that Pokemon Go has put an update that we found via data mining. It's come true within a couple of months. I think that was also true for like the new Pokemon encountering, that when it was like when they started tying Pokemon to Pokestops and stuff, that was also kind of something that was data mined pretty early on, or was a beta thing. I don't know. So there's a lot of that going on, which means that Pokemon Go is in the spotlight when there's a spooky Halloween roundup, and there's going to be ghostly goodies in Pokemon Go. This Halloween season is a special time in Pokemon Go. Plenty of good stuff is coming to the game later this October, and they're also talking about catching new Pokemon to fill out the Pokedex. Stay tuned for more details about Pokemon Go's Halloween event coming soon. And I'm not going to use this to be like, Gen 3 confirmed, oh my god, October event is going to release Gen 3 and stuff. But I think it just kind of ties together because like we're loosely bringing new Pokemon games, Pokemon Go. I guess when we also look at like Pokken Tournament, Gold Silver Virtual Console, this is kind of really stacked right now going into just a couple of months of a lot of Pokemon games. So maybe if Pokemon Go wants to get on the action that all the other Pokemon games, Virtual Console, Nintendo Switch and stuff like that, maybe they might do something a little special. But remember, Gen 2 was not a full rollout, that they actually introduced baby Pokemon first in Gen 2. So they might do a couple Pokemon, like maybe just the starters thrown in for the Halloween... Like, maybe just the starter Pokemon thrown in for the Halloween event, if that. It's just a lot of information right now, you know, we're waiting on Gen 3 and Pokemon Go. There's an update, but again, like, there's been a lot of other updates that don't really mean anything for a new Pokemon or new game or anything. We have all the legendary Pokemon becoming available as well. We have the Entei, Raikou, Suicune. They're kind of doing their rotations and shifting throughout multiple regions and stuff. So... I'm wondering if this is even enough to bring people back. Like, okay, it's a Halloween event. Seems like people, even for like the Equinox events and all the little things Pokemon Go's done, it doesn't really boost the amount of players. It just kind of gives a bit more extra to the players that are already overly dedicated and playing the game as it is. So even if Gen 3 Pokemon came out for Halloween, I don't think it's going to mean much, you know? Legendaries, that came out. Raids, that came out. It brought some players back, but it didn't even bring most of the players that quit back, which is a pretty bad sign, you know? We don't want Gen 3, we want trading, and we want PvP. Give us that, and then maybe Pokemon Go will be good again. But again, Pokemon Go it's just a fraction of what it intends to be in next year. You know, Pokemon trading, peer-to-peer battles, other possibilities. That's coming out. It looks like, I think there's also been confirmation that they want all the generations in Pokemon Go at some point. These could be pretty cool when they finally get around to like Alola and 7th generation stuff. So the game is still years out at this point. And it looks like that means we might even miss 7th generation compatibility. Wonder what we're going to have for Pokemon Switch. But just things to kind of bring up, you know, there are still tie-ins. Just because you don't care about Pokemon Go doesn't mean that things aren't going on right now. There could be some pretty big updates. Gen 3 might do something, but Gen 2 didn't really bring a lot of people back, so I think the game still doesn't have enough. And also, the developers, they want people to play Pokemon Go. They also want the handheld games, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, and they just kind of want to just bring things together. So we're going to see where that goes. And as always, what do you guys think? Does any of this even matter to anyone? Like, I've seen this weird change throughout my audience, because when Pokemon Go first came out, you know, every Pokemon fan cared pretty much. Like, they were into it. You know, you had casual players, you had competitive players, you had people getting serious. Everyone wanted pretty much any information that was going on with Pokemon Go. But then as Pokemon Go kind of got worse and worse, and then it's just... I know there's also things, it's like, oh, you want my thoughts on this? Yeah, Niantic kind of sucks with how they've been treating Pokemon Go, and as we just get further into this, you know, the Pokemon Go Fest disaster, the interview saying that they're actually behind, so kind of confirming everyone's fears that Niantic is mishandling Pokemon Go, but then, like, even then, like, some people, they lost faith on the first couple weeks, the first month or so, and I wonder what that means. I've seen so many wild swings, so do you guys even care anymore? Does my audience care? Does whatever people that find this video through YouTube's algorithm, is there much care anymore? Because, like, there is the Pokemon Sun and Moon tie-in. There is some way of modernizing this. I know there's a lot of people that still play Pokemon Go in my audience, that they wish it was better, or that they could also still have care for Pokemon Sun and Moon. But right now, I just see that this is, like, one of those... It's a very weird thing, because this is something that people were excited for. That back with Pokemon, with the Pokemon Bank, more people were excited for Pokemon Sun and Moon, more people were playing Pokemon Go, and there was just kind of like a lot more optimism that things would be cool. It's like, oh, sweet, I'd like to maybe have one or multiple Pokemon kind of transfer over. Like, that's another weird thing. Is that with this, you know, certain Pokemon are showing to have the Pokemon Go symbol. I think the Eevee one was a big one that blew up with the Dragonite, the Ash Cat Pikachu when we first saw that Pokemon. Actually, that was in the data mine, right? That was I think that was actually like demo. The Pokemon Sun and Moon demo data mine had Ash Cat Pikachu, so maybe people were saying, oh yeah, you get Pikachu and Pokemon Go transferred over, and that's maybe how you get Ash Cat Pikachu for that kind of tie-in right there. So we don't know if like Dragonite is even going to be possible, if it's only one Pokemon or a small amount of Pokemon that can transfer over from Pokemon Go and then get this little symbol right here, or if it's just going to be first generation, because at the time of this leak, I don't think Gen 2 was out yet. So we did know that Gen 2 was coming, but maybe it was just going to be like a first generation event that kind of tied in with the Red, Blue, Yellow Virtual Console. That seemed like a great way of doing it. Maybe it's the same for the Gold, Silver Virtual Console, but then as we got further into it, it's like, yeah, now we have Gen 3 coming out and no tie-in. So is it one Pokemon, few Pokemon, many potential Pokemon? Are you going to have to directly take it out of your Pokemon Go account, put it into Pokemon Sun and Moon? Is it just going to be kind of like an acknowledgement, like, oh, you have Pokemon Go. Here's our event Eevee. You now have this event Pokemon Go Eevee, or maybe you get a random egg that could hatch into a Pokemon egg that has Pokemon Go. I don't know. It seems like it is something that's going to be really interesting to kind of interact with the ongoing games and stuff. I wonder what you guys think. Like, is this a care right now? Is Pokemon so dead that this doesn't matter? Maybe a couple months it would have mattered, but remembering it, yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It might factor into Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, might be completely scrapped. Who knows? Who cares? That's just the state of Pokemon right now. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.